Look at this, guys. Look at this. I mean, am I in Northern Virginia here, or am I in South Florida? Our Canadian maple trees, these guys right here, have been going to town, changing red in mid-January. And you see these guys over here for sure, definitely looking red. They're spread out. There's a few orange ones down there. They're all around the lake here. And it's pretty cool. Canadian maples being confused in Florida, not knowing what to do, thinking it's fall. It's just so cool. Even though I'm here in Florida now, I still get to experience a little bit of fall here with a little bit of my upbringing in the cooler weather. Because it's been pretty chilly here in South Florida over the past couple of weeks. It's dipped down into the upper 30s twice now, and it's been in the 40s regularly overnight, which is just wild for South Florida. And like I said, these Canadian maple trees are taking that as a sign that it's fall, even though it's almost February. So that's a pretty neat experience to be able to have that down here. But just such a nice time of the year to be able to sit out here, just enjoy, being able to sip on some coffee, and just enjoy a nice break from what Florida is the rest of the year. But let's head on inside, because I want to talk to you guys about the fact that I've seen quite a few things online recently about how a lot of the people out there in the YouTube, TikTok world and everything are saying that photography's dead, that it's a dead medium, and I've got my opinion on that. I don't think I've actually showed you guys my desk space. This is where I edit all my videos, right here with an old school Apple Cinema display hooked up to my M1 MacBook Air, and it does wonders. And stay tuned for future videos about this beast. This is an old dinosaur of a lens. Check that out, 35 to 350 millimeter L lens from back in the day. They made this 30 years ago, back in like 1993. It's actually a push-pull style lens, not a twist to zoom, which is interesting. It's heavy as all get out, but it's got amazing image quality, and I'm going to be testing this thing out for some landscape shots coming up. But yeah, I just wanted to head inside, guys, and darken this up for you, and just discuss real quick the fact that there's quite a few people online that are saying that photography's dead, that it's a medium that doesn't work anymore, and that video is everything. The only thing anybody should be focusing on is video. And while I do agree with that, if you take into account your motives for what you're doing, that can be true. For me, there's still plenty of reasons photography's not dead, and I'm going to talk to you about those today. Yes, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram's moved towards being mostly video platform. Facebook pumps videos like crazy now. Video is the world we live in now with regards to online content being consumed regularly. And if your pure goal and motive is to have your content consumed, and that's all you care about is success and metrics, then video is the way to go for you. But there's still plenty of reasons photography matters. Photography matters because it preserves memories in a different way than video, in a more simplistic and more perennial way. Because there's one thing you can do with photography that you can't do with video, and that's make prints. Prints live on. Prints can be on your walls. Prints can be permanent. Prints don't rely on power, electricity. They don't rely on you to click play. They're just there. They can be family memories that are preserved forever in a photo book on a coffee table, or in wedding pictures above your fireplace, or whatever. You know, landscape pictures, artwork that you shoot. You know, go out, spend a weekend taking pictures of beautiful places to fill a new room in your house with new artwork, that kind of thing. It's a much more solo, introverted, introspective form of art that can be utilized today if your goal isn't to just be famous or to try to create content that people are consuming. Because to me, some of these photos on the walls in my house mean more to me than the videos I put out online. And I love that these photos are going to be here forever. And when we move to new homes and whatnot over the course of life, those photos come with you and they are everlasting. If the internet goes down, if the power goes out, if all of those things go out, the videos don't exist anymore. But prints do. And that's a little bit of a nostalgic, old school way of thinking, I guess you could say, but I don't know. There's something pretty impactful when someone comes over to my house and for the first time sees some of these prints on the walls and asks, "Oh my gosh, those are gorgeous. Did you take those?" And then I have a story behind each of the photos to be able to tell, and it's real interesting and it's really cool. And I love that. That is just so cool. So I thought in a short little video today, I'd walk around and give you a little tour of the photography and the prints that I've put up on the walls in my house. In the first house that we owned, as I've mentioned before on this channel, this is the first house that we've actually owned ourselves, and there's something about owning the place that makes me really want to just populate the walls with my work. So it gives me a whole new reason to go out and take pictures on a regular basis. So without any further ado, let's go check out some of the photos and some of the stories behind each of those photos in this house. To start off, as I showed before, this is one of my most my most proud pictures in the house is this thing right here. I'm gonna show you from behind. This print, it's actually, if you can tell, it's a raised canvas. So it's a wood frame canvas. And I think it's 4 by 3 feet. And an online company, Canvas People, was running a promotion to be able to do a really large print for cheap during the pandemic, earlier on in the pandemic. And I thought, man, I'm gonna take advantage of that and print one of my favorite shots that I've taken. And this just looks so good contrasting with the blue paint, and it just looks so epic on the wall. When you're sitting here eating dinner with some guests and you turn and it's like, man, yeah, I shot that photo. That photo on the wall, that's me. And that's just so cool to be able to talk about that and be proud of it. And the story behind this picture is, if you go back on my channel last year in February, I did an episode, a vlog, where I went down to the Keys, the Florida Keys, and I had a mission of capturing this specific shot. It's a famous, and what people do is they go and get a shot of the sun setting over the waters in the Keys through the old Bahia Honda State Park railroad bridge. I don't know if it's Bahia or Bahia. I always get confused on that, but it's B-A-H-I-A. So however you want to pronounce that. That state park is a beautiful place that I totally recommend going to if you're ever down in the Keys. And you can actually walk up to the top of this portion of the bridge. It's restored. That's the old portion that's falling apart. So it's sort of like representing where new meets old, past and present. There's a lot of meaning behind that, which is really cool. And I remember when I was here thinking to myself, man, there's a cloud right here, and that sun's gonna pop out beneath that cloud. It's gonna create all kinds of cool light and really awesome texture in the sky and reflections on the water. And I thought, man, that's gonna be so awesome. And I thought to myself, geez, if somebody could just walk out into that little strip of land in the opening there between the two pieces of bridge, that would just make for the perfect Instagram shot. And I kid you not, right after I said that, and I said it in the video too, which is really funny, you see this girl, I have no idea who she is. She walks out and stands right there to give the shot just that extra layer of personality and just presence. So cool. And that's one of the reasons I love this shot so much. It's one of those things that would go in a portfolio and is worthy of printing large and putting on your wall. And moving right along on the other side of the living room or dining room here, we have 2 prints. I'll show you stepping back here so you can see them. 2 prints that I've framed that are also from the Keys, and the colors in them play off the paint on the wall perfectly, totally on accident. But if you can see, I decided to do a white frame with a white mat to sort of really bring out the contrast of the color in the shot. And it's hard to tell with the reflection here if I come around this way. This is the old 7 Mile Bridge in the Florida Keys that is the largest stretch of bridge in the Keys. This is the new bridge, this is the old bridge. And they run side by side through the Keys. And it's one of my favorite places in the world to go, and driving there is such a wild experience because, as you can see from the shot, there's no land anywhere. You're just driving on endless road in the middle of the ocean, which is just super epic and super cool. And of course I had to go put my drone in the air and get a cool shot of this. And it was worthy of, being able to be on the wall forever here, because it's one of my favorite places to go with Claire, and it means so much to us. So these places mean something to me in addition to being beautiful artwork. And as you can see from this one over here, this is a different framing of it, to where you can see the old arches that are famous from that stretch of road, and from the old True Lies movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger from the 90s. They did a whole scene on involving this bridge, and it's pretty cool. It looks super. The way the water just sort of fades into the sky with no horizon. The conditions were perfect that day for this shot. Moving right along into the sitting room / office, we have another cool shot that I decided to do different frame. Decided to do matte with white frames in there, and then here I thought there's darker tones everywhere. It would be nicer to do a matte black frame. And this is that same bridge, much further down it from where those shots were taken. In this scene, you've got the water disappearing into the horizon again, which I think is just super epic, but this tree is growing out of the middle of a bridge in the middle of the ocean. It seems like such an impossible thing to happen. And the locals down in the Keys have famously named this tree Fred the Tree, and they actually decorate it for Christmas every year. You can see that there's a ladder there on the bridge that allows them to be able to get up on there. They take their boats out and they get up on there, and they call themselves the Anonymous Elves because it's technically illegal to go up there because this whole thing is dangerous and it can collapse at any moment. It's literally, the bridge was built in like early 1900s. It's over 100 years old. It's just such an epic place, and again, I wanted to preserve that just in case that tree falls down one day and disappears if a hurricane comes and just takes it out. It's living forever on the wall here, which is super cool. Moving along here through the house, again, photos from our wedding day. You know, obviously this is a huge reason for photography to not be dead. You go out and take pictures of people's weddings for a living, you are serving a gigantic purpose that people will cherish those photos forever. Much more than any videos you could ever put online. Here's a shot I actually took with my iPhone when I was sitting in a hot tub at the old apartments we lived in downtown Stuart. I just looked up and boom, that was sitting above me, and I thought, you know what? That's awesome. And again, this is another canvas print that just looks super cool sitting here on the wall with this color. Brings a lot of life to this area of the house. But here we go. These are three, and this is not a great time of day to show these off because of the reflection from outside here. But these three shots are part of a series of another video I did on YouTube where I went across the state of Florida on State Road 60 that runs from Vero Beach at the Vero Pier here. It runs from here across Florida through Lakeland, which is right here, and over to Clearwater Beach where the series ends right there. And I wanted to do a 3-shot series of photos that exemplifies the road that matters so much to my wife and I with the town we met in, which was Lakeland. And she grew up in Vero Beach, and we used to go to Clearwater Beach all the time when we were in college in Lakeland because it was only 40 minutes away, and that was sort of like our hangout spot. So these three places mean so much to us and so much to our history as a couple. And I just thought, man, that would be just a super, super cool way to showcase that. If I get down here, you can see the photos a little bit better. To be able to showcase in large 3 foot by 2 foot prints, a little bit of our history. And fun fact, right there in the middle, that's where my wife and I first kissed, and that's also where I proposed to her. Super cool, preserving that on our walls forever. And there's a story behind it, and also a video behind it, which is super cool. Go back on my channel and check those out. They're there. You can watch those videos on how I approached capturing these images in a vlog. And as you can see here, I've got plenty of negative space left on the walls in our house to be able to fill up with more photos. And I'll probably move that clock eventually, and I'll have this whole section of wall and that whole section of wall going up there to be able to do like family photo collages of, I plan on making this whole area here all about family portraits, and especially once autumn's home, and we can just continue to add to that over time and be able to just populate those walls with tons of fun family memories and, just preserving our children over the years in a beautiful way for anyone to see and for us to be able to see every time we walk up and down the steps, which is super cool. And that is why photography is not dead. Photography very much still has a great purpose if you actually are being genuine about the intention of photography. To capture memories, to capture places that you love and the people that you love in something that can last forever if you print them. And yeah, it's fun seeing these shots. I've posted all these shots to Instagram and everything, and it's fun seeing people like it and comment on it and everything, but then it's gone. It sort of just disappears into the stratosphere of the internet, and I just love that you can preserve these things permanently with prints on your walls, and it just means so much to be able to do that and continue to do that over time. As photographers and content creators, I think we sometimes forget about the fact that we can do that and how much of an impact that can have on your family life and being able to just document and preserve that over time. That's why I think photography is not dead, and I think it's a giant lie that video is the only way to go. I know it's a bit of an ironic, thing for me to say because I'm a video creator on YouTube, but photos still matter. I just wanted to leave my 2 cents with you guys today and give you a little tour of the prints in my house that I've done so far. And as I continue to do those in the future and add them to the walls and stuff, I'll tell you guys about them in future videos. But all right, guys, thanks for watching today. I appreciate it. Just a little video today. Just keeping in touch, keeping up my promise. 1 video a week at least, right? Continue to do that. But all right, guys, I'll check you in the next one. See you later.